Today is the biggest day for Palantir. Palantir price skyrockets. History has been made. People are celebrating. A lot of people turned into millionaires. Around $224 billion is no joke. Here's the crazy part. Wall Street and analysts dropped their signals and leaked what Palantir's next price will be. KARP dropped a massive bombshell. What is happening? How will all of these make sense? What on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. This might just be the biggest day in Palantir's history. The stock didn't just go up, it skyrocketed, blasting its way to a jaw-dropping $100. One Twitter analyst perfectly captured the moment, summing up what everyone was thinking. He simply said, Palantir is $100. Like, triple digits. Pure fascination. We finally did it, everyone. What once felt like a hopeless situation, Palantir crashing for days, weeks, even months, has completely flipped. The fear, the doubt, the endless bearish takes, all of that is in the past. Now, we can finally say it. Palantir is back. The atmosphere has completely changed. The energy is electric. People are celebrating. Twitter is flooded with excitement, and the sentiment has turned overwhelmingly bullish. Some are calling Palantir a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, one that let them retire early. Others are saying it built them generational wealth. Everywhere you look, it's just good news, incredible stories, and pure hype. So, you might be wondering, what caused this insane rally? What happened? Well, Palantir just dropped its Q4 earnings report, and let's just say, it wasn't just good. It was the best quarter in the company's history. After-hours trading on Monday went absolutely wild. Why? Because Palantir's AI-powered software business didn't just meet expectations, it crushed them. Revenue? Higher than expected. Earnings? Better than expected. Their 2025 guidance? Looking stronger than ever. But here's where it gets really interesting. One of the spark behind this massive jump is the U.S. commercial revenue. In Q4, it grew a mind-blowing 64% year-over-year. That's huge. See, a lot of investors were worried that Palantir was too dependent on government contracts. But this proves it's not just a government player. It's a serious force in the commercial world too. And with AI demand booming, Palantir is looking more unstoppable than ever. Now, let's look at it in detail. The numbers are just mind-boggling. One Twitter analyst summed it up perfectly. Palantir just reported its best quarter ever, with a massive 36% year-over-year growth in Q4, and a strong outlook for 2025. U.S. revenue alone skyrocketed 52%, and the company hit an 81% Rule of 40 score, which is a huge sign of a healthy, high-growth business. And let's talk about cash. Palantir is loaded with $5.2 billion in cash and zero debt. That's one of the strongest balance sheets in the entire market. And the deals? Insane. The company locked in 129 deals worth at least $1 million, 58 deals over $5 million, and 32 deals exceeding $10 million. But the real jaw-dropper? U.S. commercial total contract value hit a record $803 million, up 134% year-over-year and 170% quarter-over-quarter. That's explosive. And with U.S. commercial remaining deal value sitting at $1.79 billion, up significant numbers. It's clear that demand isn't just growing, it's surging. Even customer count saw a 43% jump year-over-year, which means more companies are realizing they need Palantir's AI-driven solutions. Now here's the banger. CEO KARP is thinking long-term. He said, "We are still in the earliest stage, the beginning of the first act, of a revolution that will play out over years and decades." Palantir isn't just winning today, it's setting the stage for something much, much bigger. In fact, because of this, Palantir is now officially one of the biggest companies out there, bigger than some of the giants we all know and love. One Twitter analyst pointed it out perfectly. Right now, Palantir's market cap has exploded by over $30 billion in after-hours trading, pushing it up to a staggering $224 billion. To put that into perspective, Palantir is now bigger than American Express, bigger than McDonald's, bigger than Disney, Pepsi, Goldman Sachs, and even Adobe. Think about that for a second. Just a few years ago, people doubted if Palantir could ever break out of its government-heavy business model. Now, it's a dominant force, sitting among the biggest names in the market. This isn't just hype. This is a company proving itself in real time with numbers that demand respect. And here's the crazy part. At this rate, Some people on Twitter are seriously saying that Palantir could hit $200 soon. With the momentum it's got right now, and the way it's crushing expectations, that price doesn't feel out of reach. It's one of those moments where everyone's starting to wonder, how far can this go? With numbers like this, it's no surprise that the internet is buzzing. People are reacting big time, and some are even kicking themselves for not getting in on Palantir earlier. One Twitter user shared, "My biggest regret so far this year? Not buying more Palantir." And honestly, it's easy to see why people are feeling that way. Palantir's stock has been on an absolute tear, and for those who didn't pull the trigger when they had the chance, it's starting to feel like a missed opportunity. But with its strong financials and potential for even more growth, it's clear why so many people are wishing they had gotten in on this ride a little earlier. But not everyone's on the Palantir hype train. Some are still skeptical, saying that the stock is way overvalued and questioning whether it can keep this up long term. One Twitter analyst pointed out that Palantir's PE ratio is through the roof, around 500. For those who don't know, that means investors are paying $500 for every $1 of earnings the company makes. To put it into perspective, if a business only made $100 in profit with that same valuation, it would be worth a whopping $50,000. Sounds crazy, right? So, the big question is, will Palantir be able to sustain these sky-high prices? Or is this just a bubble waiting to burst? It's a tough call. Palantir's got incredible momentum right now, but with that kind of valuation, it's definitely a risky bet for the long haul. But here's the thing. This high valuation might not actually be an issue. Wall Street and analysts are adjusting their price targets for Palantir, and many are still seeing big potential despite some concerns. For example, UBS analyst Carl Kierstead just raised his price target for Palantir to $105 from $80, keeping a neutral rating. He pointed out the company's impressive 36% revenue growth, a massive 7% revenue beat, and that jaw-dropping 134% growth in U.S. commercial contracts. All of this contributed to Palantir's surprising earnings. However, he tempered his optimism, mentioning that the stock is now trading at a super high multiple compared to his future cash flow estimates, which is why he's still cautious about it. On the other hand, Morgan Stanley analyst Sanjit Singh took a more positive approach, upgrading Palantir to equal weight from underweight and setting a price target of $95, up from $60. He admitted that he had underestimated Palantir's ability to keep up such impressive growth, even with tougher comparisons coming up in 2025. While he still sees Palantir as having an ultra-premium valuation, he doesn't see any major risks ahead in the next year or so, which makes him a bit more neutral but not bearish. Then there's Raymond James analyst Brian Geswallet, who's also sticking with a market perform rating. He highlighted the strong momentum across all business segments, with particularly impressive U.S. commercial growth and cash flow expectations for 2025. He's especially bullish on the company's adjusted free cash flow, which is expected to be around $1.6 billion, a 43% margin. With all these analysts adjusting their outlooks and still seeing strong potential, it's clear that Palantir is in a strong position. But the real question remains, how long can it keep this up? Regardless of the mixed opinions and high valuations, one thing is clear. Palantir is making waves. The company's rapid growth and the attention it's getting only strengthen the idea that it has a bright future ahead. When you look at the hardworking devs, the crazy utility of their technology, and the strong ties Palantir has with the U.S. government, it's easy to see why the company is positioned to dominate the market long-term. Sure, there are challenges ahead, and the stock might have its ups and downs, but with the momentum of Palantir's building and the foundation it's laying, it looks like this is just the beginning of something much bigger. But for now, let's just take a moment to celebrate and appreciate what Palantir's achieved. CEO Alex Karp said it perfectly in the Q4 report video. "We're doing it. I'm sure you're enjoying it as much as I am. Let's not talk about analysts and the burden of being right." It's such a fitting statement because, right now, Palantir's hitting new milestones, and it's a time to enjoy the success, especially for the company, its community, and its investors. Karp's words remind us that while the analysts can have their say, the real excitement is in the company's achievements and where it's headed. With Palantir's growing influence and the strong community of investors and supporters backing it, the future is looking incredibly promising. This moment is a celebration of hard work paying off, but it also sets the stage for an even bigger journey ahead. The ride's just starting, and everyone's in it together. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.
Trillions and trillions of Shiba Inu tokens just started moving. This warns us of something very serious. And indeed it is, as we are talking about the US government. The whales close to the government should be very cautious, as the danger might grow even bigger. But what in the world is happening? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. In an unexpected turn of events just today, Shiba Inu whales appear to be waking up. We've seen a surge in transactional activity on large wallets, almost hitting the $2 trillion mark. This is exciting news, especially considering that in yesterday's video, we discussed how whale activity had dropped significantly, which was a pretty bad sign for the market. This sudden spike could mean good things are on the horizon for Shiba Inu. Fresh data has emerged showing more transactions happening within the Shiba Inu network. Over the last 24 hours, there have been 147 large transactions, with a total volume of 1.9 trillion Shiba Inu. This activity is a sign of the world's largest whale activity. This is a significant bounce from the 7-day low of 82 transactions recorded on May 19, 2024. Despite this surge in transactions, the overall sentiment around Shiba Inu has remained pretty neutral, with the price showing no real upward movement. The relative strength index also indicated a lack of buying power, staying just above the 50-point neutral level. It's important to note that while the visible actions of these whales don't guarantee a price increase, it's still better than when they were inactive. The market dynamics suggest that these large transactions might simply be circulating capital from existing holders rather than new investments. This has had a minimal effect on the price, keeping Shiba Inu within a tight horizontal range. However, active whales could mean more potential for future movements, as their activity might eventually lead to new opportunities for growth. This rising activity can be explained by a tweet from a popular Shiba Inu community member. The tweet reads, "Robinhood already has 42 trillion Shiba Inu and sees socials worth more than 1.6 trillion, valued at over $1 billion. I tweeted a lot about their holdings, and it seems like many users on their exchange are getting Shiba Inu. They possibly have more than one wallet too. This information sheds light on why we're seeing such a surge in activity. If Robinhood users are increasingly buying Shiba Inu, it could explain the increased transactional volume. It's interesting to see such significant holdings on a major exchange like Robinhood, and it shows the growing interest and trust in Shiba Inu among users. But why did the interest just spike today? What is happening? Well, let me explain. Just today, Donald Trump made a huge announcement. In his 2024 pre-election campaign, he promised to ensure that the future of crypto and Bitcoin will be made in the USA. He also pledged to support the right to self-custody for the nation's 50 million crypto holders. This is truly massive news. Trump's announcement has sparked excitement among people. The US has been known for its hostile stance towards cryptocurrency. With a potential shift in policy, it's clear why there's a surge in interest and transaction volumes. People are optimistic about what this could mean for the future of crypto in the US. And this newfound excitement is likely driving the increased activity we're seeing in Shiba Inu and other cryptocurrencies. The hostility towards crypto in the US is a huge problem nowadays. If you remember, Just a year ago, crypto firms were massively leaving the US. Even Coinbase, the largest crypto exchange in the country, was considering leaving too. At that time, Coinbase's CEO expressed his frustration at an event in London. He talked about the lack of clear rules for the crypto industry in the US, where different regulators had conflicting views on how to classify and regulate digital assets. He mentioned that he would prefer to operate in a jurisdiction with one regulator and a consistent approach, like the UK. He added that while he still saw the US as an important crypto market, if the situation didn't improve in the next few years, he would be open to relocating the company. Anything is on the table, including relocating or whatever is necessary, he said. Also, according to a founder of a crypto venture capital firm, these days, the possibility of leaving the United States is the number one thing that crypto startups are talking and thinking about. He mentioned that you can move to the US if you want to. You can move to places like the Caymans, London, Bermuda, or have a significant faction of your executives in Hong Kong or Dubai. It's important to note that the Securities and Exchange Commission has initiated more than 50 crypto-related enforcement actions in the last few years. And now, it looks like Donald Trump, if elected, promises to change that. This potential shift in policy could make the USA a more favorable environment for crypto, which is why there's so much excitement and increased activity right now. While the US is still the top place in the world with the biggest impact on the world, it's not the only place in the world where crypto is the most important. It's also the place where the US has the most impact on global markets. It baffles crypto enthusiasts why the country would try to restrict crypto if they want to maintain their influence. Restricting crypto could drive innovation and investment elsewhere, weakening the US's position as a global financial leader. By embracing and regulating crypto more effectively, the US could strengthen its economic power, attract talent, and remain at the forefront of technological advancements. This is why Trump's potential policy shift is creating such a buzz. It suggests a future where the US could lead in the crypto space, rather than stifle its growth.